Hi there, and welcome to episode 2 of the Builder's Office. My name is Hugh, and I just wanted to thank you for listening to me today. I did plan on having a another guest, just like I did last week. Unfortunately, some things just don't align, and most of it is the technical issues, which, if if you are to believe me, when it comes to the technical issues as a builder, the all this side of things isn't exactly my forte. So leaving some of those other things up to other people, and just sort of getting left with going, oh my god, what do I do? But that's the human nature of what we're trying to do here. But today, I was going to be talking and a continuation of what I was discussing last week, about where do you begin, and what are the first initial stages of building projects. And I was going to be discussing this with someone that I do know, and hopefully I'll be able to get them into an episode very shortly. And we can go a little bit deeper and dive that little bit further into where people begin. But today, I just wanted to touch on a few of the really good points of where you do sort of begin. And most of the time, what we've been discovering, most people have been starting with their building projects, most of the time, discussing it with their partners, whether it's on the couch, like where I am today. This is part of my extended office, being my own home. And if you are looking at me, you're seeing me in a very colourful shirt, which I will discuss at a later stage, in probably a future episode, and try and speak to a couple of guys that do work with this sort of thing. But when it comes to where I'm sitting, where you might be sitting as a homeowner, looking to do some work on your own house, you're starting these initial thoughts and coming up with these plans for what you might be wanting to do. Sitting on the couch, chatting, possibly watching something on YouTube or on TV, trying to get ideas, looking at Pinterest, all these sorts of things. And I have to say, it's always interesting when I get those uh, the initial ideas from people when we're just having a conversation about what they might be looking to do to their home. And for me, myself, as a builder, um, probably a little bit different to what you may believe builders might be doing out there, which is that initial conversation, and not necessarily having a chat about the specifics of, oh, what's the roof going to look like, or what's the floor going to be in the house, but actually where are you starting from? What's the real nitty gritty starting base of where the ideas are actually coming from and what's driving it. So we do discuss these sorts of things when I have initial meetings with people when they start contact with us. But uh, we really want to know where this sort of thing starts from. So we deep dive into the questions, about, okay, what are you looking to achieve? Why are you looking to achieve this? What's the reasoning behind it? So these are the questions that we find really need to be answered, and this is the starting point. Is, am I doing something for my family? Am I doing something just for myself? Do I want something in my house that is for my work, for my job? Uh, for instance, some people, they the driving force might be a studio for music. Like a recent client had a real passion for their audio engineering, and when it came to that, they needed certain parameters, certain things inside the home, and their studio to be able to be conducive to being able to produce really fine audio qualities. So that was quite a challenging project, but it was getting into that and discussing some of those things really they do define what we do. So when it comes to that, you've really got to go through some of those things and where people really do begin their thoughts and their ideas on their projects and on their homes. And well, I've seen plenty of ideas over the years. There's been some absolutely grandeur ideas, uh, and then there's the realistic ones. And we'll touch on some of that in a future episode. But this episode here is just about where the ideas are coming from and laying in bed those ideas. Oh, I'd really love to have this in my house. Uh, Partners have those conversations, and we think that those conversations really need to be had, and the ideas that come from that really need to be had as well. So from there, the next things that sort of come up are the doing sort of like a SWOT analysis that you see a lot of businesses that might talk about it when they're doing campaigns for some of their marketing, let's just say. So their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, that sort of thing. But doing it from a different perspective on wants, needs, aspirations, and fears. So when you go through all of that sort of thing, you can really start to discover some really good things that you want in your home and things that you don't want in your home as well. And having that sort of thing, whether you've bought a property, whether you own something that you're wanting to renovate, or you're looking at something that's going to be completely new, really is going to pay for itself when it comes to working out exactly what's going to be on all those lists. And at the beginning, before you can even decide on who do I speak to next, you need to go through those things, and that really is the starting point. And if it's not just you that's going to be working on the project or coming up with the ideas and the plans for it, everybody needs to be involved. If everyone's not involved in it, then where are the ideas going to come from, and how much is it going to be really encompassing everybody? So even from first homeowners, and you might be a first homeowner yourself, it's a scary prospect. First homeowners, it's got to be one of the most challenging things that anybody gets to do in their life, is that first purchase of a home and first idea of what they're going to be doing in their home. Can be scary, can be daunting, but I'm here to try and at least give a little bit of guidance and inspiration to understanding that it can be easy with the right information put in front of you. And that's what this podcast is going to be all about. Whether you're watching on YouTube, because this does go up onto YouTube and you can see me wearing, most of the time you'll see me wearing a very funky shirt of some kind, and that's because we do Feel Good Fridays. So most of the time I will be recording this on a Friday. So you'll be able to know what's going on, and if you get in with questions beforehand, then we'll at least be able to try and answer it, depending on what's going to be coming up next. I will be endeavouring in future to at least try and get what's going to be happening next week in the next episode, and try to get that nutted out so that at least I can give you a little bit of, okay, what's going to be the next step in the building process from right now. Like next week, there's every possibility that we'll be discussing what comes in after you start getting some of those ideas and writing all those ideas down. So the next step might be, who do I speak to next? Do I speak to a builder? Do I speak to an architect? Do I speak to just anybody off the street? And believe you me, you'd be amazed at what you can learn from just somebody walking down the street. I've found that out quite easily from wearing these pretty cool shirts. So if you're not listening, if you're not watching the video, then yeah, you probably won't. It probably won't make sense what I'm talking about. But the colourful shirts, they do start a conversation, and it's amazing what you can get out of people just from one of those conversations. But when it comes to the podcast for next week, I'm hoping to be able to at least have somebody that I can have a deep diving discussion about those first initial stages of planning projects and who's the right people to speak to. So really want to be able to bring that to you. I hope I haven't dragged this out too much and bored the crap out of you. That's not my intention. Don't want to bore you. Want to make it short, punchy, maybe a little bit edgy, a little bit colourful. If you get to watch it, certainly will be colourful. You'll be seeing me doing silly things. And yes, I hope that you can at least get something out of what we do talk about, and with some of the other people that I do have a discussion with, there should be some good little tidbits to be able to help everybody, whether you're a seasoned pro like myself, or right through to somebody that is just going about their first time either buying a place, and at some stage I would like to actually even discuss with somebody, I'm not sure who it's going to be at the moment, but have a discussion with someone about the purchasing of property, and we'll go through that sort of thing as well. But if you have any questions, we do have an email. It is thebuildersoffice101@gmail.com. You can send us through a request or a question that you might want answered, and I'll at least try to bring that up and answer your questions. Love it. Any questions that you might have, send them through. Comment below if you're looking at this on YouTube, and wherever else you might be seeing us. Subscribe and don't miss an episode, because I'm sure that we'll try to at least help you along your journey of whatever it may be. Thank you. My name's Hugh. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll chat again next week. Thanks a lot.